I discovered my husband has a burner phone and tracked it to our neighbor's house at 2 a.m. When I knocked on the door, what I found wasn't an affair but something so much stranger that I'm now questioning everything I thought I knew about my marriage and my life. I, 33F, am writing this from my car outside a 24-hour diner at 4 a.m. because I can't go home right now, and I need to get this out before I lose my mind. 2 hours ago, I thought my husband was cheating. Now I wish that's all it was. What I actually discovered is so bizarre that I keep thinking I'm having some kind of psychotic break. But I have photos. I have witnesses. This is real. Let me back up to yesterday afternoon. My husband, Mark, 35M, and I have been married for 7 years. He's a high school history teacher. I'm a nurse. We live in a quiet suburban neighborhood, have a dog, go to trivia night on Tuesdays. Normal, boring, stable. Or so I thought. Yesterday, I was doing laundry and found a phone in Mark's gym bag. Not his regular phone, a cheap flip phone, the kind you buy at gas stations with prepaid minutes. It was turned off. My first thought was affair. Obviously. Why else would someone have a secret phone? I turned it on. No password. Open the text messages. There was only one contact, saved as J. The messages were weird. Mark. Tuesday, 11 p.m. Confirmed. J. Received. Usual place. Mark, is everything ready?
J. Yes. Don't be late this time.
That was from last week. More messages going back months, all similarly cryptic. Times, confirmations, mentions of the usual place and packages and deliveries. I felt sick. This looked like either an affair or something worse. Drugs? Was my husband a drug dealer? I checked the call log. Dozens of calls to and from Jay, always late at night. The most recent was last night at 11:30 p.m. A 15-minute call. Last night at 11:30, Mark had been in bed next to me. Or so I thought. I'd fallen asleep around 10. He could have gotten up, made a call, come back to bed without me knowing. I checked our phone records online. Mark's regular phone showed normal usage. Nothing suspicious. This burner phone wasn't on our plan. He was paying for it separately, in cash presumably. I sat there holding this phone, trying to decide what to do. Confront him? Follow him? Check the phone's location history? The phone had a basic GPS tracking feature. I opened it. The location history showed the phone had been to the same address repeatedly. An address in our neighborhood.
4 houses down.
Our neighbor's house. Tom and Jennifer Harris. Mid-40s couple. Lived there for 10 years. We weren't close, but we were friendly. Waved hello. Chatted at block parties. Borrowed sugar occasionally. Why was Mark going to their house in the middle of the night? I sat with this information all afternoon, getting more anxious. Mark came home from work at his normal time, 4:30. He kissed me hello, asked about my day, fed the dog. Completely normal. I didn't say anything. I wanted to see what would happen tonight. We had dinner, watched TV. At 10 p.m., Mark said he was tired and went to bed. I said I'd be up soon. I wanted to finish the episode. At 10:30, I went upstairs quietly. Mark was in bed, apparently asleep. I got ready for bed, slipped under the covers. Set an alarm on my phone for 1:45 a.m., silent vibration. When it went off, I opened my eyes carefully. Mark's side of the bed was empty. I got up, looked out the window.
His car was still in the driveway.
I went downstairs. The house was dark and quiet. Mark wasn't there. I grabbed my phone and the burner phone. The burner's location showed it was at the Harris house.
Right now.
I put on shoes, grabbed my keys, and walked down the street. It was cold, dark, completely quiet. Every house was dark except the Harris place. There was a light on in what looked like the basement. I stood on the sidewalk staring at the house. My husband was in there. At 2 a.m.
Why?
I walked up to the front door and knocked. Nothing happened for a minute. Then I heard footsteps. The porch light came on. The door opened. Mark stood there, fully dressed, holding a cup of coffee. Behind him, I could see Tom Harris. Emma? Mark looked shocked. What are you doing here? What am I doing here? What are you doing here? It's 2 a.m. I can explain. Are you having an affair? With Tom? With Jennifer? What the hell is going on? I'm not having an affair. Then why do you have a burner phone? Why are you sneaking out of our house in the middle of the night? Why are you here? Tom stepped forward. Emma, please come inside. We need to talk to you. I'm not going anywhere until someone explains what's happening. Please, Tom said. It's better if we talk inside. The neighbors. I don't care about the neighbors. Tell me what my husband is doing in your house at 2 a.m. Jennifer appeared behind Tom. She looked worried. Emma, please. Come inside. We'll explain everything. Something about her tone made me stop yelling. I looked at Mark. He nodded. I went inside. They led me down to the basement. It was finished, set up like an office. There were 3 desks with computers, filing cabinets, a large whiteboard covered in notes and photos. I stared at the whiteboard. The photos were surveillance pictures. Of people, houses,
Cars.
license plates. The notes were observations, times, dates, locations, patterns of behavior. What is this? I asked slowly. Mark and Tom exchanged a look. Jennifer sighed. We're private investigators, Tom said. I blinked. What? Not licensed or anything, he clarified. But we investigate things. Help people find information. Mostly infidelity cases, background checks, that sort of thing. You're amateur private investigators. We prefer independent information specialists, Jennifer said. I looked at Mark. You're a teacher. I am a teacher.
This is a side thing.
Tom and I started doing it about 3 years ago. Just for extra money at first, but it turned into more. Why didn't you tell me? They all exchanged glances again. Because, Mark said carefully, it's technically illegal to do this kind of work without a license. We're not supposed to be running surveillance, accessing certain databases, doing some of the things we do. We keep it very quiet. I sat down hard in one of the desk chairs. You've been lying to me for 3 years. I wasn't lying, I was just not mentioning it. That's lying. I know.
I'm sorry.
I wanted to tell you, but Tom thought. Don't blame me, Tom interrupted. We agreed it was safer if no one knew. The fewer people who know, the less chance of someone reporting us. I'm his wife. Which is exactly why you couldn't know, Jennifer said gently. If anything goes wrong legally, you could claim ignorance. You'd be protected. I looked around the room again. How often do you do this?
Couple times a week, Mark said.
Usually late at night, when we're doing surveillance or going through data. Sometimes during the day on weekends. The fishing trips, I said slowly. The weekend fishing trips you take with Tom. Mark nodded. Surveillance. Following people. We tell our wives we're fishing. Jennifer knows? I found out 6 months ago, Jennifer said. Same way you did. Found Tom's burner phone. He told me everything. I was angry at first, but honestly, the extra money helps. And it's kind of exciting. I felt like I was in a dream. What kind of cases do you take? Tom pulled out a folder. This is our current case. Woman hired us to follow her husband. She thinks he's cheating. We've been tailing him for 2 weeks. He showed me photos of a man entering various locations. Notes about his schedule. Receipts they'd obtained somehow. Is he cheating? I asked. Oh yeah, Mark said. Mistress in an apartment downtown. We have photos, videos, everything. We're meeting the client tomorrow to deliver the evidence. How much do you charge? Depends on the case. This one is $5,000. We split it 3 ways. I did the math. If they took 2 cases a month, that was over $3,000 extra per person per month. Over $30,000 a year. Where's the money? I asked Mark. He looked uncomfortable. Savings account. Separate from our joint account. I was going to tell you about it eventually. How much? About $80,000. I stood up. You have $80,000 in a secret savings account. I was saving for a surprise. I was going to use it for a down payment on a bigger house. I wanted to surprise you. By lying to me for 3 years and doing illegal investigative work? When you say it like that, it sounds bad. Because it is bad, Mark.
We argued for a while.
Tom and Jennifer discreetly went upstairs. Why didn't you just tell me? I asked finally. Why all the secrecy? At first it was because of the legal thing. But then it became this secret life. This thing that was just mine. Teaching is fine, but it's not exciting. This is exciting. I'm good at it. I help people. And I liked having something that was separate from our regular life. You liked lying to me. I didn't like lying. But I liked having this. And I was afraid if I told you, you'd make me stop. Of course I'd make you stop. It's illegal. We're careful. We've never been caught. We're not going to get caught. You got caught tonight. By me. That's different. I sat back down, exhausted. It was almost 3 a.m. My husband wasn't having an affair. He was running an unlicensed private investigation business out of our neighbor's basement. Who else knows? I asked. Just the 4 of us now. And our clients, but they don't know our real names or where we live. We use fake identities, encrypted email, cash payments only. This is insane. I know. I should be relieved you're not cheating. Instead, I'm somehow more upset. I understand. Tom and Jennifer came back downstairs. We should probably discuss what happens now, Tom said. What do you mean? Now that you know, we need to decide if we're shutting down or if you're okay with this continuing. I looked at the 3 of them. Do I get a vote? Of course, Mark said. What if I say no? What if I say you have to stop? Mark was quiet for a moment. Then I stop. You're more important than this. But you don't want to stop. No, he admitted. I don't. I love teaching, but I love this too. I'm good at it. I help people. I make good money. It makes me feel useful in a different way. I looked at Jennifer. How did you handle this when you found out? I was furious, she said. I packed a bag, stayed with my sister for 3 days. But then I thought about it. Tom's happier doing this. We have extra money. And honestly, once I learned what they actually do, it wasn't as scary as I thought. They're not doing anything dangerous. They're not breaking into houses or threatening people. They're just watching and documenting. It's still illegal. Technically. But so is speeding. You pick which laws you care about. I couldn't believe I was having this conversation. I need time to think, I said. That's fair, Mark said. Take all the time you need. We went home as the sun was starting to come up. Didn't talk. Mark went to bed. I'm sitting in my car at this diner, writing this out, trying to process. My husband has a secret life as an unlicensed private investigator. He's made $80,000 that I knew nothing about. He's been sneaking out of bed at night for 3 years. He has a burner phone and fake identities. And somehow he's not the bad guy here. He's helping people, making money, following his passion. I don't know how to feel. I'm not upset about the affair that isn't happening, but I'm upset about the lying, the secret life, the fact that he trusted our neighbor more than he trusted me. But I'm also kind of impressed. The operation they have set up is sophisticated, professional, and the money, we could really use that money. We've been wanting to buy a house. $80,000 would be a solid down payment. Am I really considering letting this continue? I don't know. I need to go home. Talk to Mark when we're both calmer. Figure out what this means for us. But first I need to process that my boring, stable, normal life isn't any of those things. My husband is a secret private investigator. And I have no idea what to do with that information. Update, 12 hours later. I went home around 8 a.m. Mark was up, making coffee, looking exhausted. We should talk, I said. We talked for 3 hours. I asked every question I could think of. How did this start? Tom wanted to catch his brother's wife cheating, asked Mark to help, realized they were good at it. How do they get clients? Word of mouth, encrypted website. What's the craziest case? Following a guy who they discovered was stealing from his own company. Has anyone ever threatened them? Once, but they de-escalated. The more he talked, the less scary it seemed. They're not doing anything violent or dangerous. They're just gathering information. Legal gray area, sure, but not truly harmful. Show me the website, I said. He pulled it up on his laptop. Professional looking, vague enough to not explicitly state what they do. Contact form only, no phone number or address. Show me the financials. He showed me spreadsheets. Every case, every payment, every expense. All documented. He's been saving it all, paying taxes on it as consulting income. You pay taxes on your illegal private investigation money? It's not technically illegal if we don't call it private investigation. It's consulting. Information services. I started laughing.
Couldn't help it.
You're the most responsible illegal private investigator I've ever heard of. I'm a teacher. I follow rules. Except for this one rule. We talked about trust. About honesty. About how hurt I was that he kept this from me. I'm sorry, he said. Genuinely. I should have told you earlier. I was wrong to keep it secret this long. If I ask you to stop, will you?
Yes. Today. Right now.
I'll tell Tom we're done. But you don't want to.
No.
But I'll do it if you need me to. I thought about it.
Really thought about it.
What if I said I wanted in? He looked surprised. In? I'm a nurse. I know how to be discreet. I notice things. I could help. Emma, I can't ask you to. You're not asking. I'm offering. If you're going to do this, if we're going to keep this money and this secret life, then I want to be part of it. No more secrets. He smiled. Tom's going to lose his mind. We went to the Harris house that evening. Tom and Jennifer were skeptical at first, but Mark convinced them. She found us out in 24 hours, he pointed out. She's clearly good at investigating. We talked logistics. I'd help with research, background checks, surveillance when needed. I'd get a quarter of the profits. They'd get a bigger cut, since they started it. I negotiated up to 30%. We shook hands. That was yesterday. Last night we had our first job with me involved, surveillance on the potentially cheating husband. I sat in a car with Mark for 4 hours watching a house. It was boring and uncomfortable and kind of thrilling. We got photos of the guy leaving his mistress's apartment. Client gets her evidence today. Case closed. This morning Mark asked if I was sure about this. No, I said honestly. But neither were you when you started. Let's just see where it goes. So that's where I am now. I discovered my husband's secret life. And instead of ending it, I joined it. My mom would be horrified. My friends would think I'm insane. But honestly, it feels like an adventure. Something different from our normal routine. We're being careful. We have rules. Nothing violent. Nothing that puts us in direct danger. Nothing involving kids. We help people get information they need. We make good money. And we do it together. Is it smart? Probably not. Is it legal? Debatable. But is it exciting? Absolutely. Update, 3 months later. We're still doing it. I'm officially part of the team. We've completed 12 cases since I joined. Made about $15,000 split between my cut and Mark's. Some cases are boring, background checks, asset searches. Some are sad, a lot of infidelity cases. One was actually kind of fun. We helped a woman prove her business partner was embezzling. She got her money back and pressed charges. Jennifer and I have become close. Turns out having a weird secret life with your neighbors is bonding. The money's going toward our house fund. We've almost got enough for a down payment. Mark wants to tell the realtor we're using his consulting income. I told my best friend. She was horrified, then curious, then asked if we needed a fourth person. We said no. My parents think Mark got a second job as an online tutor. Close enough. Work is the same. Home life is the same. Except now a few nights a week we do surveillance or research. It's become normal. Am I comfortable with it? Mostly. Sometimes I worry about getting caught. But we're careful. We've gotten better at it. Mark's happier. I can see it. He's more engaged, more excited about life. And honestly, so am I. It's broken up the monotony of work, eat, sleep, repeat. Is this sustainable long-term? I don't know. We'll see. For now, my husband and I are secret private investigators. And somehow, that's just become our life. Final update. 1 year later. We bought the house. Closed last month. The down payment came from our consulting business. We're still doing investigations. We've gotten pickier about cases, only taking interesting ones or ones that pay really well. We've developed a good reputation in certain circles, anonymously, of course. Made about $40,000 this year, between the four of us. Split it evenly at this point, we're all contributing equally. Haven't been caught. Haven't had any close calls. We're good at this. Mark's still teaching. I'm still nursing. But we have this other life that makes everything else more interesting. Would I recommend this to others? Absolutely not. It's legally questionable and ethically gray. But do I regret finding that burner phone and discovering my husband's secret life?
No.
Not even a little bit. Sometimes the strangest discoveries lead to the most interesting outcomes. And now when I'm stuck in a boring work meeting, I think about the surveillance job we have this weekend, tracking a guy who might be stealing from his dying father's estate. My life is weird, but it's never boring. And after 7 years of marriage, boring was the real problem all along.